Okay, and welcome to one of our videos where we're going to be showing you how to use a trigger point release tool for helping you when you're in the first stages of addressing a shoulder or even a neck problem for that matter. Here's Nathan. He's showing you the little tool we're going to use. This is called a Pocket Physio, but you can get this from a place called Locker Room. I think they're called lockerroomhealth.com. And they sell lots of these sort of tools. Very highly recommended. They only cost about $7-10, something like that. But if you don't have one, you can easily just use a golf ball or the tennis balls. Maybe a little bit too big, but you can sort of see the shape of this is designed to look like an elbow. So basically how a massage therapist would use their elbow to dig into sort of very delicate trigger points, which, you know, trigger points cause all sorts of trouble for around the shoulders and the neck. And they will inhibit the weaker muscles such as the lower trapezius and serratus anterior that are pivotal in creating the optimal shoulder mechanics and alignment of the scapula to move, so that you don't get rotator cuff tears or shoulder impingement or all sorts of other complications of the shoulder. Bearing in mind, it's very important to understand that trigger point release doesn't, even though it may relieve your pain in the short term, it doesn't correct the problem. All right, so this is where a lot of people rely on these things and are using them forever and ever. But if you actually followed it up straight away with the drills of mobilizing and stabilizing in particular, and learning how to move and then strengthen it, you won't need to use these anymore. All right, so understand that these are very useful in the early stages of helping to learn how to move and stabilize, but they are not the solution to the problem. All right, so let's have a look at how we use it. So basically Nathan's going to get this little tool, and he's showing you, okay, that's what it looks like, and then we're going to get him down onto the floor, and he's basically going to place it right on the border of the scapula. So if you understand where that is, so if the scapula will sort of run like that, he wants to place it anywhere between here and here, really. So some people might have a little problem up the top, other people might get it down low. So it's basically you're wanting to find where your tightness lies. Once you sort of find that, then you can place this little tool right on that spot, and it will basically more or less pop it, I suppose you could say, and then it allows you to move much more freely. Right? So Nathan's showing us, okay, that's where he's going to place his, because he knows he's got an issue on his left shoulder that's giving him elbow pain. All right, so then you basically get down on the floor, place it, the little tool, or if it's a golf ball, so Nathan's going to place this on the elbow side up, and he's going to put this right on that spot where he was pointing to. All right, so it takes a few goes to find where you want it to be, and I will warn you, it does take your breath away. If you've had massage before, you would know what it's like. So basically the beauty of these tools is you wouldn't be able to afford or even have the time to go see a massage therapist every day of the week, but you could use this several times a day, and you're basically just massaging yourself. Now, the trick to this is where we try to get the arm to move, which encourages the scapula to move. So when it moves around, it sort of really digs in at certain points. So at that point there, most people will really struggle to get to there if they've got a problem, and you'll see Nathan can't get any higher. And anywhere between this range of around about 30 degrees up to around as much as 90 degrees, but it's usually like this lower point really gets right in. And if it's, the beauty of this is when an arm comes out as he's doing here, this is where people, when they really struggle to get their arm out there, because those muscles around the scapula are holding on, really gripping it too tight and sticking it out the back, which is like a wing scapula. This little tool can help sort of break that up. Like I said, it is quite a painful process, but it's sort of a necessary pain. All right, so that's just one of the trigger point tools that we may use for the area around the scapulothoracic area and the rhomboids, and so people with wing scapulas and neck pain will find this painful but good, if that explains it, and it sets the foundations for us to then follow up with the stability drills and the moving type mechanics, where the arm and the scapula can move more freely because they're not being held onto so tight. All right, so I hope that explains how to use that, and I look forward to seeing you on our next video.